And let me set up my desktop here so we can get this started. So what we're going to be covering today in this webinar is breaking down GIS information silos using Acrobat 9. I'm going to be going over a couple of workflows here for communicating spatial data out into the field and getting data back into the enterprise as fastly and accurately as possible. Before we jump into the workflows, I just want to talk a little bit about myself. My name's Tom Lopes. I'm a GIS, a geodatabase developer at Farallon Geographics. I've been working here for over 3 years now, and my primary role at Farallon is to create geodatabases for our clients, usually utilities-based geodatabases, and also create the workflows that are responsible for maintaining those geodatabases through time. A little bit about Farallon itself. Farallon, we develop systems that integrate data within the enterprise with an emphasis on GIS, or data that's geographic in nature. An example of this might be, say, let's see, an address, like 609 Mission Street, San Francisco, California. That's the address for Farallon Geographics, and that would be an example of spatial data. It's just data. You could type it out into a field or something, but it's spatial in nature because it has a place in the world. It's on a street. It's on a specific, a specific place on that street. So it's spatial in nature. Something that Farallon kind of prides itself on is being like vendor agnostic. We're all about choosing the right tool to meet the needs for the client, and in order to do that, you really have to be kind of agnostic to the vendors that are out there that offer technical solutions. We really pride ourselves on that. We're also leaders in free and open source GIS. It's just another arrow in our quiver to use in providing solutions for our clients. Something that we're really good about is getting information out of the field and into the hands of the decision makers. This greatly increases the accuracy of the data, while at the same time decreasing the amount of time it takes to make decisions based on that data. Some of the solutions we provided to people in the past have to do with pavement management systems, facilitating field crews to mark up spatially enabled PDFs for assigning pavement condition to a particular span of road. Also utilities, something we're going to be going over today in the webinar, and as well as something kind of different is voter registration, getting accurate data out to those people in the field so they can do a more precise canvassing. Our client list includes just government clients at all levels, city, county, and state, as well as federal, and as well as NGOs, and of course commercial as well. So a little bit about Farallon. What is a spatially enabled PDF? Well, spatially enabled PDF is just like any other PDF. We're all used to using PDFs and working with them. Usually when you open a PDF, it's a document of some kind. It's a contract or a scope of work. What a spatially enabled PDF is the same thing, except it's a map, first of all, and second of all, it still contains data, but that data is assigned to a geographic coordinate system. Now, geographic coordinate systems they can be confusing, and it looks like we have several GIS professionals that are technical in nature on this webinar, so I'm not going to go into this too much because the water does get deep very fast. But just know that what a spatially enabled PDF is just data, just like any other PDF, except it has it's been assigned a spatial location. Now, the spatial location also has a geometry associated to it. Using the example I used earlier, 609 Mission Street, San Francisco, California, using that example, a point would be 609 Mission Street, San Francisco, California. The point would lie right in front of the front door of Farallon Geographics. The example of a line would be Mission Street itself. It begins at one place and it ends at another, and it has a distance. And also a polygon would be the state of California. It's an area with a boundary. You're either inside of it or you're out of it. So how does this facilitate, how do we create these spatially enabled PDFs? Well, we use what's called eSeminar ArcMap. And again, something I want to emphasize on this webinar is the workflow. I'm going to be using ArcMap in this workflow, but you can just as easily, it's all about the workflow itself, not the button.